Straight to Champs Select, everyone, to the LPL Summer Promotion Tournament. My name is Julian Page-Tamkar. Joining with me is Jake Spawn-Tabiri, who could very well be our last game of the series. And miraculously, almost, ADG are up 2-1 against EP.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they did the last game in emphatic fashion. 26 minutes, I think it was.
24 and a
24.
half. Didn't need the 30 we gave them. Took it a little bit earlier, and what a game they played here. So well and truly into the draft now. ADG on the blue side ban out Maokai, Xerath, and Azir as their 3 picks. And EP again, the Rek'Sai Riven join in, and the Cassiopeia is gone once more.
Yeah, but they leave the KL open, and twice now. Ray really made them pay for that, so I want to see if they can do it a third. Looks like Bamey. I wanted a cat pick, but I'm hovering the LeBlanc right now.
I mean, LeBlanc would be fine here. It's been contested for the entirety of the series. We saw it first picked by EP by Raphael, who had a decent game in LeBlanc, but just couldn't fight through the Lulu. With Lulu open, maybe ADG consider something different, but they lock in the Thresh.
Yeah, so they take the Thresh, and I agree with what you just said. The Lulu seems to be fine in the lane against the LeBlanc, so why would you first pick it? You don't really need to. As we see the Kalista hover coming back through, I expect Amazing J to go back to an aggressive top laner, but wow, Ray's really had his number in this whole series nearly, apart from the first game.
Yeah, he's a wonderful laner. I mean, even in that game, Ray was finding CS. He was setting up ultimates. He just couldn't carry hard enough on the Nara, I guess, despite how good his ultimates were. EP are going to reset a little bit, though. Nunu, who was banned in Game 2, I believe, might see a pickup here as well. And I like this potential takeaway from EP. It's nice and flexible. This doesn't give away too much, and it sort of denies the LeBlanc pick as well. So it's Lulu, Nunu.
Yeah, it certainly does. But Raphael, I think, played it in Game 2. Didn't look fantastic coming through there, so we'll have to see how it works out this time around. It is locked in, and immediately Sejuani is the hover coming through from Xiao Yin. Looking to take that one away.
Yeah, his fancy hat there as well. Been wearing it nice and dapper all series long. And for me, it's interesting to people always want to pick Sejuani into someone like Nunu, but I guess they don't feel overly pressured in the jungle as far as kill pressure goes. Nunu obviously very annoying, can take away a lot of your jungle. See, the ADG boys, they're pretty happy. Up 2-1, I would be too.
Yeah, exactly right. Not much to worry about there if you're up 2-1, and we see it will be a Kalista picked away from Zhang Ao there. We'll have to see how that one works out. Of course, Jinx is still available. You always love to grab that one if Nunu is picked.
Yeah, and the Sejuani as well for ADG, so pretty strong setup so far. Again, picking their bottom lane early, wanting to counter pick on the blue side for their solo laners. And EP, oh man.
It's a Juggermore.
We're going back. Yep, Nami Kog'Maw, and that gives away everything.
Top lane, Morgana. Come on, Amazing J.
I mean, he could do it. That would be great. It would sign up the comp very nicely. ADG can maybe steal it away here, but I think they're just going to have to go back to mid-game pressure. One of the few ways to beat Juggermore is to make sure it doesn't get to the late game, and ADG is going to have to go all-out aggression.
Yeah, and that's what they look like they're going for. Commit to the mid-game once again. They take away the Orianna, who, if you send the Lulu into the top lane, is actually a fantastic addition to the Juggermore at the moment. I like the control she gives, but what I'm really worried about here is if Energy Pacemaker grabs something like a Hecarim, grabs something like a Shyvana, I think it augments Juggermore better than people realize because it gives that legitimate second threat. And if you're peeling away the back lane whilst keeping your Juggermore so healthy, you have a second target to throw all your shields on. Things like that can get scary real quick. Jax is kind of in that situation as well, but I just feel Hecarim's a little bit better.
Yeah, we saw Amazing J pick Jax over Hecarim in one of the games, and live to regret that decision. He's got the Smite teleport already highlighted, so is probably looking at one of these sort of picks. Hecarim's locked in. EP, wonderful team comp they've put together.
Yeah, they certainly do. I still think in this particular situation, Shyvana is a little bit better, but Hecarim will serve the job completely fine. All Hecarim's looking to do is disrupt the Kalista, then there shouldn't be enough consistent damage to get through Kog'Maw. Like, expect like double Mikhails, all kinds of crazy things to come out here. It's about getting everything on the Kog'Maw, putting him in the front line, and letting him take over.
Yeah, and ADG, you can see an interesting team comp. Very mid-game centric once again. Big, high-impact ultimates from Ray and Bamey once again. So look to them to be the playmakers here. But Rumble, Orianna, just not quite as good late game as Kog'Maw.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all about the Kog'Maw, but we go through the lineups. We see Amazing J. That's a variation of Juggermore. He's got the Hecarim to dive the back lane against a Rumble.
Yeah, and there's the two frosty junglers as well. Sejuani versus Nunu. with Xu Xiaoyin taking on Drizzle. Bamey versus Raphael in the mid. Going to be back to farming for both these guys. Orianna versus Lulu.
Yeah, the battle of the control mages, both spiking in the mid games. Orianna probably a little bit better late, as we see Jin Zhao taking on Zhang Ao in the bottom lane. Kalista versus Kog.
Yeah, and last but not least, Shine versus Shu. That's Thresh versus Nami. And again, ADG probably want to play aggressive. It's not quite the all-in mid-game comp from the third game there, but they really do have to kind of win the game. It's on somewhat of a timer here.
Yeah, it certainly, as soon as the 2 items come through, we normally say 3 for Kog, but the Lulu as well as the Nami just augment so well means that they'll be able to get into that mid game. And throw something out there crazy, Pastry Time. If the Kog'Maw eats the Sejuani ult, they will win every team fight.
Yeah, and that's sort of how Juggernaut's supposed to work. Stand there, eat skill shots, get wild grab. We'll see how it goes. They're about to get straight into game 4. And welcome onto the Rift here for ADG versus Energy Pacemaker, game number 4. And the LSPL team here, ADG, the highest LSPL team left in the promotion tournament, currently up 2 games to 1.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they're looking to win again with another mid-game composition. Maybe looking for an early invade. They want to keep Amazing J down one more time. You can see finally he's backing away here. He needs to play safe, just farm up. If they get this game to 30, 35 minutes, you think that they can win through comp alone.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird team comp again from ADG, but we said that about the last one, identified their win condition, they executed beautifully here. Not entirely sure what ADG can do here, but from the looks of things, it's just another strong mid-game with some really good team fighting potential.
Yeah, well, the problem with Juggernaut is you have to stay completely together. So if they ever get one of those out rotations, catch someone out of position, if one piece of the Juggernaut puzzle falls away, then it really isn't that strong of a composition. So the thing is, if you catch like maybe a Nami, if you catch the Lulu and make them use their spells on themselves, all of a sudden, Kog doesn't have the skills required.
And the one thing I do like about ADG's comp is the level of mobility they have between Orianna, Kalista, Thresh, and even Sejuani with their gap closer. Rumble's a bit immobile, but can run back and forth and has so many different ranges on his spells that he's probably fine in all the situations. If ADG are going to win mid-game team fights, if the game's even, it's going to be by splitting up the Juggernaut with all their control ultimates.
Yeah, it certainly is. So that's what they want to do. As we said, if Kog's in the front, he's the one tanking all the skills. He's probably going to be all right as well. Ray, he does something new here. Oh, just survived.
That is some calculated jungling there. Just manages to get the camp away. Hits level 2 on Rumble by starting Amptome, and Xu Xiaoyin going to start blue all by himself.
Yeah, but standard lanes. This actually falls quite heavily into EP's favor, you feel, just because of the fact that ADG, they seem to have the measure of all the other lanes, and Kog Nami, it's the safest of the Kog lanes.
It's also the best of the Kog lanes, as it turns out. Nami synergizes excellently here, and you can see the range advantage. When that W's up there for Kog'Maw, Jin Zhao just can't really approach, especially because EP beat them to the race to level 2.
Yeah, certainly. So they're pushing out the lane. It will push in. They're not going to lose any CS, but it's all about staying safe right now for the Kog'Maw. If he's farming unharassed, he's winning right now. As we see a little bit of a scuffle between Amazing J and Ray.
Yeah, interesting top lane matchup here. Rumble can certainly bully some lanes, Maokai being the one that most obviously comes to mind, but what do you think of this particular top lane matchup?
Yeah, the problem is he just has too much of a smooth build pass into the magic resist, because magic resist mid, magic resist jungle, magic resist top. Just means the fact that if he grabs that Spirit Visage early as a gank comes through.
Yeah, Drizzle coming through here onto Bamey. That's going to force a flash. Does use it a bit late, but Drizzle comes forward. Ignite goes down, and Raphael claims the first kill.
And wow, they used both summoner spells to try and get the Ignite onto Drizzle. That was a misplay out of Bamey. He loses a second. I even think the flash was just a wasted flash coming out of him. There was no way he was getting out of it. And now whenever he pushes up, Drizzle going to be there once again.
And a rare mid lane gank from Nunu. Successful there for first blood. So things going nicely here for EP. We've seen ADG get advantages in their lanes consistently, especially for mid and top side. So with that little setback here, EP jump out to a nice little lead.
Yeah, and what I want to point out is the fact that that's Drizzle understanding the Sejuani matchup, not even the mid lane matchup, because Sej gets so low on her first clear. So as a Nunu, you have two decisions. Do you invade or do you gank early? Because otherwise, there's no point in picking the matchup. He saw a window of opportunity to go mid, which is the rarest of the Nunu ganks, and was able to make it work.
Yeah, great stuff there from Drizzle as Ray will stop the next gank coming through. Actually, wards the tri-bush there. Has some good intuition that Drizzle is going to be there. We'll now see him walk across the ward and should be able to back away to safety.
Yeah, certainly should be able to. Amazing J not even trying to loop behind him with that charge. So in the end, he'll just be able to walk away. Drizzle will go back to base.
On top of another ward, unfortunately, is Jinja going to get aggressive. Aquabrisen getting him out of the Martial Poise. Wonderful skill shots by Shu.
Yeah, Shu able to, I guess, save some harass there. Will keep him nice and healthy. And this is the thing about the Kog'Maw Nami lane. Generally, you can auto-attack harass. At this point, it's just not worth it for Zhang Ao. As long as he's farming, he's just there for the 25 minutes.
Yeah, and we can see now Sejuani coming back in. Drizzle will get slowed by the Orianna dissonance, but Bamey out of mana. Double Doran's ring here for the aggressive choice, but getting ousted by Raphael's early chalice.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's because Raphael, he picked up the early kill. He also still has the flash available. Knight halfway back off cooldown as well. So he's in a fantastic position in this mid lane. Not really much they can do. And Zhang Ao, he's up 6 CS already.
Yeah, great CSing under turret as well. Shu helping out wonderfully there for his AD carry player, and that's all he needs. Kog'Maw, farm up to safety. Maybe get aggressive when you have your Sheen, especially when you get your Trinity Force, but just get to safety because Kalista, she's going to hit a mini power trap while she's getting up to those 2 items.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll have to see whether he goes for, I guess, a Runan's Hurricane to continue to shove in, or whether he wants the lane control, goes to the Bloodthirster, just tries and gets some trades through, because you feel with that combo, as soon as you add a Sheen in there, that's stuff that can't be healed. Bloodthirster probably the smart decision.
Yeah, I mean, just it comes in so nicely there. You get your Sheen, your Phage, especially if you have it as well, to chase for a couple of extra autos, and the levels come up, your abilities get stronger. Just everything synergizes so well with this lane, which is part of why we see it. You don't see Kog'Maw without Nami usually, but with Nami, it's a fantastic duo lane.
Yeah, he certainly is. You kind of see him in 2 flavors. You either see him lane swapping with the Janna or laning with the Nami. They're the only 2 supports you can really run with it currently, and they're doing it quite well down here, starting to shove out that wave. They've also brought Drizzle down for some help, probably just trying to shove this one out, get back an early shop.
Yeah, just a bit of assistance required there, but Drizzle now going a bit more into farm mode, does actually have a Trailblazer and a Sidestone, so able to provide good forward vision, and everyone's still farming through. Drizzle will get the Scuttle Crab, take out a Sentinel there as well, actually getting it 2. Gets spotted by the second one, but collects the gold nonetheless.
Yeah, so able to pick up some nice gold for himself. With that Scuttle Crab going down, that's like 100 gold. He's making bank.
Yeah, he is indeed. As we look at Ray now on the top side, Seeker's Arm Guard's been completed there as well, and a Balmy Cinder there for Amazing J.
Yeah, and that's good for Amazing J. He's got a lot of magic damage currently coming out of his build because of that Balmy Cinder, so we'll be able to get some damage down where he maybe wouldn't be able to because of that arm guard.
And again, it's the crazy Smite Teleport top laners that keep showing us new things here in both the Summer Promotion and the LPL playoffs. And Bamey just trading back and forth, starting to get a bit more aggressive, but Raphael flashing forward. Drizzle's here now as well. Bamey going to protect himself. Does have the ultimate there, but can't pull the trigger without the ball on top of him. Dive does come through. Ulti comes back just in the nick of time, and Drizzle goes down.
And they overcommit for another kill because they thought the flash still wasn't there. It wasn't, but they just weren't able to get enough damage down. No real AP coming out of Raphael, and it was just an overcommit. You don't have to do it. You're winning the lane. It's a Juggermore comp. Just play patient, guys.
Yeah, be passive and scale up here. And amazing to me that Orianna was able to do that without pulling the ultimate. I thought she made a very rare mistake by leaving the ball out instead of keeping it on top of herself to ult Nunu away to dissuade the dive. But not quite enough damage between Nunu, Lulu, understandably. And Bamey gets away with a free kill there.
Yeah, so it gets the lane back in his favor nearly, because at the end of the day, now you've got rid of both the flashes, the ultimate. If you call in Sejuani for another gank, she's level 6. There's a real potential that you have some kills because, hey, even his ultimate is still up. He's got some pretty good kill potential.
Yeah, now with the Chalice coming back, those double Durans going to start to pay off a bit more if Bamey wants to get aggressive in the mid lane of the map here. We've got Cinder now completed for Sejuani, so getting towards that Cinder Hawk, probably going to see a Sightstone follow that as well. And down the bottom, Sheen for Zhang Ao versus BF Sword for Jinzhao.
Yeah, so you really now give this one across to Zhang Ao. Extended trades probably going to go, like if they all in each other, probably going to go across to the Kalista, but that's never going to happen. It's going to be 2 autos, go back, get some healing through from the Nami, be able to go for round 2 as soon as all the cooldowns are back.
Kalista, 550 range or less with all that hopping about. Kog'Maw, significant range advantage with Bio Arcane Barrage pop, so ADG bottom lane have to be careful in their trades, but Rumble starting to farm up, keeping pace here of Amazing J, who's got his Skirmisher Saber done now as well. Bamey also with the blue buff. Maybe just going to zone something out. In fact, Sejuani off to the side might be looking for a gank here.
Yeah, potentially looking for a gank. The pink wards are in the brush with each other, so probably just looking to clear that one out. Although now she's over the wall. Really smart move coming through.
Yeah, nice stuff. And actually going to wait here, but we'll get spotted. Good guess there from Raphael. But the damage now coming in there. Raphael now going to get ulted back there as Drizzle comes down as well. But Wild Growth used there onto Lulu. Ultimate doing good damage there. Knocks him up to cancel off the end of it, but too much in there. Amazing J jumps in as well, but Ray now rotating down on the Rumble, but he's silenced there from the overheat. Can't use the ulti. Finally going to get it done. No, doesn't quite use it. Pops it very late. No, not even using it yet. Both these laners holding off for so long, and Bamey just lives.
Yeah, so it was a 1-for-1. It wasn't even smart intuition. They just had a good wall over Baron, so they saw the dash come through. But Amazing J, he went super deep for that. I want to know if his smite was available. I need to see the replay because he took a heck of a lot of damage as he dove in there. Maybe wasn't able to get anything done. And Ray, he's picked up a kill for himself, has a CS advantage as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that we've seen him on a great game on Nah, 2 great games on Kale, and now this Rumble game. This guy can play a lot of different champions. Had Riven banned 4 games in a row now as well. He can kind of tell why. No matter what he touches, he's able to find a way to carry.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's just so smart. He's able to pick up farm wherever he wants. Goes mid lane, picks up another wave and a half for himself. Now he's got a real advantage. As we see in the bottom lane, a little bit of back and forth coming through. Zhang Ao starting to get the good end of this lane just because he has the sustain.
Sejuani down now as well, looking in, but can't quite get in there. Just clears out a ward instead. And we are kind of getting closer. Need to see Lardrod here for Ray coming through. Going for a quick zone. He's going to skip the Haunting guys, it looks like.
Yeah, that's craziness. Just looking for the big damage coming out of the Flame Spitter. Not really an ulti-reliant build. Pastry time coming through. And they start up the Dragon because Teleport not available.
Yeah, Bamey in trouble, though. He has to draw the ball back. But Amazing J going to dive in on top. Shine going to pull the Lantern. That gets her to safety. Dragon's going to go down as well. But Tidal Wave comes in. Just missing Bamey as Shine moves into zone them with the Boxer. Double ulti keeps Amazing J Drizzle out. And Ray's rotate around the side. But Kog'Maw already got the double kill. Bamey's forced to flash away. Ray's going to go down here as well. Gets smited as Amazing J gets the kill. Bamey will fall to Kog'Maw. Jin Jiao's going to go down and Cog gets a triple.
Yeah, triple for Cog. Also giving a kill over to Amazing J. They're the people they want to get going. And the ace for the first Dragon going down. Energy Pacemaker, 3 kills. Once again, don't want to call a game, but 3,000 gold ahead with a Juggermore comp at 12 minutes. We could be seeing a game 5 Pastry time.
We could indeed. This looks a lot looks a lot like the position ADG were in the last game here, and they had the mid-game comp. To be ahead with this sort of composition was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's see the replay. It was all about the early damage they got down onto Bamey. He lands a good shockwave, but kind of sets Nunu up in the brush for a huge ultimate. Takes 2 people out straight away, and from there, there's just not enough done. Pretty good equalizer comes through, but unfortunately, without that double pen build, just doesn't have the spike at the first Dragon. That's why the build is so popular, because for its gold, bang for buck. We talk about thrift shopping a lot in the LPL. That's what it is, and yeah, sure, he's got some huge items, but just not the same effect.
And I never thought I'd say this, Spawn, but that team fight was also won by the Nami Kog'Maw flank, essentially. Orianna had an ultimate to use on the 2 of them to maybe kill the Cog, which would have turned the fight around, but instead tried to peel off the divers, and it went horribly wrong as Sejuani getting chased out of the jungle by Drizzle. Might even die here. The red buff already stolen. They'll give it up as for the chase there, but now Sejuani getting forced out of her own jungle.
Yeah, and this is the thing. You have to understand Nunu. What does he do? He does drive-bys, he grabs buffs, then he gets out. He's not a duelist in any sense of the word, because that's a Cinder Hog Sejuani. Probably not going to be able to kill her. So just grab what you're in there for, deny experience, deny pressure, go into lane, shove them out, and now Energy Pacemaker really looking safe.
Turret down now as well in the mid side, starting to take out structures. Energy Pacemaker, that'll increase their gold lead up by about 4,000 gold.
And that was one auto attack Pastry time coming through, chunking it out. Drizzle now with the dive.
Yeah, Amazing J going to come in there. Ray can't really do anything, doesn't even have the zombies yet to free himself from the stasis, and Amazing J 2-1-2 now on the Hecarim.
Yeah, able to pick up another kill as we hear Chinese Rumble die. One of the coolest death animations in the game.
It's good stuff there as Shine clearing out some vision. Eclipse trying to push out aggressively into the Kog'Maw, but Trinity Force has been completed. We already talked about the poke down the bottom lane before, and ADG might already be too far behind.
Yeah, and look, Energy Pacemaker, they're playing this part of the Juggermore much better. They understand there's a potential for a dive. Just back away from the turret, get right back, shove out the wave. play this extremely safe, and I understand the theory of pushing in to set up the blue buff, but it's not really getting Cog behind because he can see us at turret completely fine.
Yeah, blue buff does get taken away by Bamey, though, who really needs to finish out of things. You can see Raphael already completed the item, and Oriana was having a good lane for herself, equalized it back after the first blood by the bit of a misdive from Drizzle, but all of a sudden Lulu with 6 assists is quite far ahead in gold.
Yeah, it certainly is, and Drizzle once again just waiting for Rumble to come back to lane. Wants the re-dive. Just looking for it. Maybe a bit of an overreach because he's spending a lot of time there. But we'll have to see how it works out.
Yep, Ray instead, now with the Zhonya's completed, going to go ahead and clear out a camp with the help of Bamey. Drizzle still hanging out on the top side of the map, looking again to catch Rumble back in transition to the top lane.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I wonder if it will work out with the Zhonya's coming through. Definitely looks like that is what they're setting up for, but we'll have to see if it works out. As we see, AD carries just farming away.
Yeah, looking for a dive, but little ambitious there. Zhonya's up as well. Well, but the turret does go down. Amazing Jane, no ultimate, unfortunately, can't dive into the top side there. Turret will go down, though. 2-0 now for EP as far as the turret's concerned, and keeping themselves back in the game. Dragon is back. Our ADG did secure the first one. That was the only thing they got from that last Dragon fight after they got aced, and EP going to potentially line up for that as well. But honestly, that doesn't even matter that much.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. That's not really an objective coming through that they really care about that much, as we see the one auto attack trade coming through. Something that I want to point out that's confusing me about both teams. Energy Pacemaker obviously play terrifically around the top lane Hecarim, and it's been available every time, and they only took it game 1 and now game 4, and that's where they've looked the strongest. ADG look much better in lanes, particularly around their lane swaps. And they had the deep vision this time around and didn't elect to go for it. They went for just standard lanes. So very confusing really from both team lineups that they're willing to take things that appear to be against their strengths, at least in this series.
Yeah, it's been an odd series for sure, but ADG trying to find some momentum. Actually, flash snowball there for Drizzle. Lantern, though, will get them to safety, but Amazing J's flanking. Tidal Wave joins in there as well. Bamey almost dead immediately as Amazing J gets the first kill. Now Sejuani going to get chased out, and that's going to be the double coming through.
Yeah, and that's just horrible. New Cog doesn't really need kills. Picked up enough early. He's got the Trinity Force already. But the Hecarim now 4-1 and 2. Really a snowballed Hecarim, which means that there's a legitimate second threat on this one threat comp that will just be able to take over the mid game, supplement all the weaknesses of the team comp. They're pushing through really aggressively. Will be a 8,000 gold advantage already. And wow, Energy Pacemaker revitalized after getting beaten 0-2 in the last couple of games.
Yeah, losing the last two, going to try and equalize it here and force a fifth game. Jinzhao in the bottom will get the turret there on Callista, so going to go back. Probably has a lot of the Bloodthirster almost finished there, as he's got quite a number of components done already. In fact, with a big stack of gold, about 2k, we'll have enough for the item.
Yeah, definitely will. Even be able to grab some more as he goes back. Grabs a dagger as well for himself. On the other side of the rift, Cog finishes off his Zerka Greaves, grabs a Vampiric Scepter, as well as another longsword. Don't know how he's holding all of that, but he manages to juggle it.
Yeah, building in for a Blade of the Ruin King there, as well as Bamey now does have an Athene, so mid lane is getting slightly stronger, but Sejuani pretty behind. This is the look we saw from Xu Xiaoyin in game 1. Lots of Ruby Crystals and a Cinderhulk and no major items yet.
Yeah, and you really think at this point probably better off to just have gone for the Sightstone, because Vision is going to be king against this Nunu. You saw them get collapsed on. With some better vision, might have been able to spot that one out. And Energy Pacemaker, they're really doing a good job of controlling the map. Will now pick up a dragon of their own first of the game, and there's no way that they can contest.
No, ADG falling further and further behind in this game. 6,000 gold behind now. As EP going to take away the first dragon. Drizzle's Nunu going to be more than enough here. And that was the other thing. Nunu not banned here in this series. ADG have started to take that away or ban it away from EP. Again, both teams have had interesting drafts at different points in this series. So if we do force a game 5, and that's the course we're on right now, given the advantage EP have, the last draft's going to mean a whole lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. Finally, ADG, they're making a smarter move here. They're just trying to trade cross-map objectives. But in saying that, 2 lanes are being pushed right now by Energy Pacemaker. Might be able to take away everything if they're in a position to do so. You see, with some shields, Amazing J going to be able to pressure here. No, they just rotate into the bottom lane. They'll get 2 for 1 at least.
Yeah, but Raphael doing some good damage there. Kog'Maw continuing to push with the help of Nunu. Now you can see the Bio-Arcane Barrage keeping him safe. Going to wear off soon, though. But we'll get into range. They use these normal 500 range auto attacks. And that turret, not a lot of AD there for Cog, but dies in a pretty close fashion.
Yeah, it certainly does. So they're able to grab 2 turrets to the 1. They also get even more farm onto their Hecarim, who's now gone into the top lane to pick up a couple of waves of CS. And there's one last thing that you have to mention about a Kog'Maw comp with all of these shields is that they take Baron without taking damage. So from now on, with that bottom lane pushed in, as soon as Amazing J's teleports back, they can just throw all the shields onto Nunu. He takes no damage. Kog'Maw does it extremely quick with the build as well as the W. And they've got every avenue to success right now.
7,000 gold ahead now is a cute little move. They're going to move Kalista very far on top of Raphael. So a bit of Ren damage there coming in by Kalista. Will force Raphael slightly back. Ray actually joining in as well. Home guard Sorcerer's Shoes there for Rumble, going for some big flanks almost with the champion. He's certainly got the ability to make plays. Ray has been doing so all series long, but he's going to have to find some sick Rumble ultimates to bring ADG back from this.
Yeah, he certainly is, and they're kind of resigned to death brushes now, and that's where you know a game has deteriorated out of control. If you're just looking for huge 5-man ganks, probably not in your favor, as we see Amazing J completely by himself, able to get this turret. Scary thing, if Rumble goes near it, they can probably just dive him.
Yeah, spinning his scythe around, getting just the Sheen procs at this point. Doesn't even have the Trinity Force completed, but is not far away off the item. And we've seen it. It does take a while for Hecarim to get to this point, and he has to get there in good time, but when that Trinity Force gets completed, Amazing J will be the strongest champion on the map by far.
Yeah, he certainly will be. 4-1 and 2, 166 CS. He probably has it now. I didn't quite catch the cold. He does. And wow, he is so scary.
Yeah, Kalista seems to clear out some waves. No Hurricane just yet, so this will take a little while longer, but nice pierce there, lines them all up. Very good stuff. Nice mechanics.
Yeah, it takes them all down. It's always satisfying when you get to see the gold. When you're behind this firing games, you have to take the little victory, so you would have enjoyed that.
ADG do have to make sure they at least keep control of themselves emotionally here. I mean, this game's not looking good. They can certainly fight back and try and at least make it more even and maybe mount a comeback if it goes longer, but right now they just have to be thinking, keep focused, make sure we keep playing well, and steel themselves for Game 5, because EP, they're on course now to force a 5th and final game here. And remember, this is single elimination here. Only in the quarterfinals, you need to break through to the final, win your semi in order to qualify for the LPL. And both teams do not want to miss their chance to either go back in if you're EP or get there for the first time if you're ADG.
Yeah, and wow, Jin Zhao, he's being caught out.
Yeah, Amazing J just uses the ulti, challenges there with the smite as well, and basically a solo kill by Hecarim.
Yeah, exactly right. Just pretty fundamental kill being picked up there, and a little bit of an overextension coming through from the Kalista player. You can see not many smiles now on ADG, and I agree with you. They need to keep their spirits up. They won Game 3 in emphatic fashion. It was EP with their back against the walls. This is a big momentum game for them, but ADG need to remember what they've got done in this tournament.
Yep, Ray going to tag Amazing J. Actually might go in. The ulti misses, though, from Sejuani. Flush. Play there actually from Shine, and now Bamey coming in as well there. Amazing J just going to buy some time. He will go down, but you can see EP immediately on the Baron.
Yeah, they certainly are. The teleport comes through for Rumble. I don't actually know what he's going to be able to do unless he lands the equalizer of all equalizers to steal it away. See if he can make it happen, but consume smite, pretty good.
He's going in for it, does pop it down. That's not going to steal it though. This is Harpoons actually gets close, but Drizzle had it under control.
Yeah, certainly did. And now Lulu, wow.
Nice Sonya's there from Ray, but Sejuani coming back in. Good Lantern out there as well. Ray will keep alive, but the tidal wave coming in so slow, just misses him there. As will scrap shield his way to safety, but EP still get the Baron buff. They're able to continue their offensive.
Yeah, they just need to go back, recall, pick up the Blade of the Ruin King and siege up with their composition. No point chasing stray kills. Sure, it would have been nice to grab Rumble. He's not a necessity at the moment. 5v5 team fight with that death cap being finished up by Lulu just is all in the favor of Energy Pacemaker.
Yeah, I mean, even the Void stuff here for Amy tells you that ADG are really moving into some emergency builds as well. Hurricane not even done for Jin Zhao. He might lose this game before he's able to get the mid-game power spike, and that mid-game's not really going to come here for ADG because ADG have just fallen too far behind.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, unless they really get an unlucky turret dive from Energy Pacemaker where they're able to layer a lot of their CC, like the knock-up coming through from the face call, as well as a great Orianna ultimate onto a like equalizer or something like that to really swing this game around. Just probably going to be talking about the next one. Of course, looking for opportunities. That's what you do in a best-of-5 series. You have to take the good with the bad. They had a great Game 3, not a great Game 4 coming through, but they have to just sit there, look at what they did wrong, discuss it as a team, and see if they can turn things around.
They're trying to 3 or 4 or even 5-man gank Amazing J, but he's buying all the time. It got them a Baron last time. It's going to look to give EP their second Dragon this time, and they might just leave Amazing J in the top, start splitting bot, and with a tier 2 already down in the bottom side, that inhibitor will fall quickly.
Yeah, it certainly will, so they'll see exactly what they can do here. As you mentioned, wow.
Just going in, actually now trying to solo out the Rumble. Amazing J almost gets it done. And you see the problem, everybody leaves to try and gank Amazing J, and he just solos people.
Yeah, exactly right. Now he pushes in on a turret by himself without the Baron. Once again, they bring another 4 members to him, and he just gallops away.
And you can see EP now running down the mid lane with the Baroned up minions, going to start a siege here on the closer side of the Hecarim, able to join him if he needs to. But he has his teleport as well. He can join them from almost any spot here, and EP just need to start the siege and start breaking the base.
Yeah, once again, Cogmore in the front line. He's staying nice and aggressive. Now that they've brought all their members over, they'll wait for someone to show on Amazing J's side of the map. Have probably one more wave of the Baron, I believe. It might be out.
Amazing J going in. He wants to clear out the turret. Equalize it out as well. Ultimate there, but Amazing J does get the turret. But that will buy ADG a little bit more time.
That's just a bad play from Amazing J. There's no reason to stick around like that. You've got 4 people grouping mid. Just get out. Instead, he costs them the end of their Baron buff. And, you know, he's had a good game. Hecarim's looked much more favorable. He's definitely ahead of his laner, but there's a certain point where you have to just let your teammates carry him. And at this point, it's not about the Hecarim. The comp isn't focused around it. It's about the Cogmore. Just let the group of 4 do work. All you're there to do is attract people to your lane.
Yeah, I mean, EP actually stuck in the bottom side. Hurricane did get completed by Jinjal, though, so going to start to rip through the big waves with much more efficiency. Kalista sort of primed to start doing some work here in the game, but again, they're just too far behind to really set up a big 5v5 team fight. If they get some picks, though, they can start bringing the gold lead back in their favor.
Yeah, and that's all what it's all about. Like, you saw that they were pushing every lane simultaneously, trying to get some pressure around the base. You die prematurely on Hecarim, and all of a sudden, Kalista's up in CS.
Yeah, Bamey looking for a new to see large rod, finally going to get the death cap moving through as well. Gray, is that a Rylai's he's building?
Yeah, it certainly is going in for Rylai's. Maybe he's going for a Void Staff as well to just try and get some magic penetration through on his build, but would expect the Rylai's to come through a little bit better of a team fight item, and that's where you expect the game to come down to. As we see Cogmore being left the red buff there, so that'll go across against Zhang Ao. And now maybe all the outer turrets going down, the inner's much harder to siege. They just wait for the second Baron because honestly, they kind of wasted the first one.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time here. QSS done for Cogmore as well means Zhang Ao is practically untouchable here in this particular game. Last Whisper coming through for Jinjao, so starting to get stronger again. ADG are hitting their item timings, but it's just a few minutes too late at this point.
Yeah, they just didn't hit it at the same pace as what Energy Pacemaker hit it. Is more important coming through this one, and we'll see exactly what this means. Team fight wise, they still got a great team fighting comp. It's a little bit different from the Cogmore comp. Relies a lot more synergy to come through still. Cogmore, you kind of just stand in the front, shoot people, and everyone else puts their spells on you. But in saying that, we've seen stranger things happen throughout the entirety of this season. Normally with the Cogmore comp coming back from 10,000 gold deficits, but Orianna, Rumble, Kalista, they're no slouches in the late game.
Yeah, ADG have their playmakers with some high impact ultimates, so they can make a difference here, but EP are sticking together as a group now. Again, back to the 1-4 split push. Amazing J here in the top lane, and EP is going to continue applying pressure because slowly but surely the base will break.
Yeah, exactly right. They're trying to drag them across the map. It's probably about time that they send Amazing J back. Get whatever gold you have at this point, has about 1,100, and then set up for the Baron again. Send him into the top, bottom lane, make sure he has a teleport available, and just clear out vision, make them face check, win a team fight, win the game. Yep,
Zhang Ao going back here. You can see Raphael with an Aether Wisp in the inventory, so going for a Snowball Lich Bane as well to add some additional damage coming through from the utility champion. Mikhail's done for Nami. Tech items coming through for Amazing J. Even a Warmogs, and now an Aegis coming through for Drizzle. Went for the quick Warmogs there, basically just as a snowball item.
Yeah, exactly right. Trying to get as tanky as possible. Kalista notoriously can't deal with HP stackers, so that's exactly what he's gone for there. Expect to see probably the Frozen Heart finished up first for Amazing J to once again just take away any impact Kalista can have on this game. And wow, they're in such a good position, Energy Pacemaker, but if they've done anything, it's muck around in the mid game way too often during the season, and this seems to be another one of these games that should have probably been over at the 26-minute mark, but it's just been delayed.
Yeah, they've just, played it a little too softly. with such an advantage here, and that is giving ADG time to pick up their major items. They're hitting some item timings again. We said they were late, but if they can find some good positions here, they'll actually be able to pull off some great stuff, given that they've now caught back up slightly in items.
Yeah, and the great thing about League of Legends, no matter how good your team comp is, no matter how easy it is to execute, execution is still the aim of the game. And the thing about these high skill cap compositions to execute is the fact that they actually, as a turret goes over to actually ADG.
Oh, might have been caught though. Bubble coming through, doesn't hit though. Shu getting shredded there by Jinjar. Drizzle now going to walk in. Amazing Jay porting into the back, going in on top of Baby, who goes down. But Jinjar still moving in. Raphael going to get aggressed on a Callista, doing great damage, gets the double Ray. Good Zonies there as Jinjar still diving in, but taking too much damage. Rumble will fall as well. And ADG, they made a run of it, but EP are going to clean them up.
Yeah, they certainly are, but you could see it was so close, Pastry time. And nearly went pear-shaped as the ace comes through for 2. But in the end, Cogmore reigns supreme on the backline, able to free hit. They took out the 2 supports, but just weren't able to kill the Cog.
And you can see what ADG's team comp wants to do. Use their big zoning control ultimates, get Callista to isolate targets, and then hop between them to kill them instead of going for big AoE rends, but a little too far behind, and the inhibitor finally falls in the mid lane.
Yeah, so the inhibitor falls. They probably have free reign of this Baron as well if they want to go for it. Wow, that's a serious look if I've ever seen one. No fun and games going on right now in this game.
Nope, no Garen dancing this time for Amazing J. It is all business right now. And EP, I can't blame them. They've got to close out this game and force the 50 because ADG, they are still showing fight despite the deficit.
Yeah, exactly right. They hit some threshold 3 item spikes off mid and AD at the moment. They're pinging back. They don't want to maybe face check this Baron, so they'll let it go. It goes across to Energy Pacemaker, who will reset. Oh, wow, they're getting so greedy. They're going for a dragon as well. There are holes in EP's game, even though they're so far ahead and played it so well. I just think they're a really greedy team.
I mean, yeah, they've certainly played quite greedily in this game. This Dragon, as it turns out, given the big bottom wave, is actually quite safe, so not too bad there. Now going to go back and spend their gold, have full advantages now, moving into potentially their final push here with 3 Dragons up to 1. An absolute embarrassment of gold here up as well, but again, the game's just maybe gone 6 minutes too far.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know what? What ADG takes from this game is the fact that even when we were so far behind, we look like we were executing just as well in team fights. All they have to do is avoid getting behind in the early game. That nightmare team fight that happened where they were able to give Cogmore the double kill or triple kill, I think it was, and a couple of kills over to Amazing J and Drizzle where they just got really tanky. They avoid that first dragon fight. All of a sudden, this game looks completely different.
Yeah, and ADG clearing out waves well. They've got decent wave clear with the Orianna zone. Callista, especially when she gets free time with the waves, will push them out quickly with the Hurricane. QSS now done for Callista there as well. So again, starting to see the potential of fights here for ADG. Still behind a monstrous amount of gold with a 10k deficit, but if EP don't execute these last few minutes well, ADG might keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, exactly right. All they have to do is keep stalling. They're getting to the point, and that was a Void Staff in the top lane, where they do meaningful damage now. The death cap's finished on Orianna. QSS, as you mentioned. Sejuani only going to get tankier, gets much stronger as the game goes on. So as we keep mentioning, Energy Pacemaker, they're way ahead in this game. But there just looks to be some holes.
Yeah, I mean, just not quite executing cleanly. That was our question in this series. We've noticed that EP did this in the LPL where they would get ahead but not be able to close out games. In ADG, as an LPL team, we maybe expect they're a big mid-game snowball team, big early game as well. Maybe they can't quite close that clean. A great equalize lands on the Zangao. QSS is out of the Rumble ulti though, and Sejuani just can't get in. Jinjo gets wrecked by Hecarim. Shine going down as well, and EP just too far ahead at this point. Baimi will go down there as well, despite the nice shockwave, and they're going to force a game 5.
Yeah, so they're able to get in, finally close it out. Took 33 minutes, but Energy Pacemaker, they take game 4. We're going to a 5.
We are indeed. The surrender comes through for ADG. They know the game is done. And a big game here coming up for both these teams. This is the quarterfinals of the summer promotion spawner. We're going to a 5th game.
And they still don't look happy on Energy Pacemaker's lineup. In fact, I'm going to say ADG looked a little bit more calm.
Yeah, slightly. I mean, not the happiest face there on your screen, but still focused in, know that they can do it. Are confident in the series, you have to think, after being up 2-1. Nobody wants to go to a game 5 because you just play one game with everything on the line, but that's what we've got here.
But in saying that, Pastry time, at the Bottom of my notes in big bold writing is ADG are great at cheese, and if there's ever a time to bring it out, it might be a Game 5.
Well, it might be as well. We'll see what cheese ADG can find. But our 5th and final game for today's summer promo is coming right up.